Hi everyone, welcome back to another devlog for Echoes of Argora. Lately I have been working on some new features to update the game with, and I am once again super excited to finally be able to show you guys what I have been up to in this past couple of weeks, so let's jump right in. A lot has been done since the last time I posted. About 2 weeks ago I started to create the largest town in the game. It is far from finished, but it's starting to look good, and I just wanted to let you guys know that the world will be packed of areas to explore. Whether it is villages, caves, mountain peaks, ruins, islands, you name it, and I've probably already thought of a way for me to create it and implement it to the game. But since those things are heavily related to the story, I won't really be covering them, but I'll try to show them a little bit every now and then. Since the last time I spoke to y'all, I have been putting in loads of work on the existing systems to make sure that they run smoothly with the newest features to the game. I've also been trying to create some sort of puzzle, but I haven't really gotten that far on it, so I'll probably cover that in the next episode or so. I have also been doing some work on the quest line, but I didn't really get that far until I realized that I actually had to create a whole area for that to be done, so I spent a day or so creating this. I won't show all of it, but I hope you all get satisfied enough with this little sneak peek. At least I could continue with the quests after creating this, and it feels very nice to get the story integrated into the game bit by bit, and the dream I have on both paper in the GDD and in my head is slowly coming to life. I've also expanded on the enemy roster with 6 new enemies. We now have the Shadow Lord, Shadow Ravager, Shadow Sentinel, Shadow Stalker, Shadow Warden, and Shadow Zug. Each enemy has its own unique attack and locomotion animations, based on their weapon type. For instance, the Shadow Zug wields an axe, and the Shadow Warden fights with a mace, while the Shadow Stalker uses a spear. And these animations ensure that every encounter feels different, keeping players on their toes. And one of the more recent mechanics that I've added is the stance system. Each enemy now has a stance that can be broken after taking enough damage. Once an enemy's stance is broken, players can execute them on the spot, delivering a powerful and satisfying finisher. It is important to note that blocking doesn't break an enemy's stance, so players need to be more proactive in their attacks to achieve this. A plan that I have is to work on a stagger system for the players, so that would be some sort of prevention to players abusing the block function. I also did a rework on the parry system. What you can expect from the parry system right now is for a successful parry to instantly break an enemy's stance, creating a rewarding payoff for players who actually take the time to practice and master parry. This idea is inspired by combat mechanics seen in plenty of combat games all around, which is a mechanic that is incredibly nice to finally have implemented to the game myself. The goal has always been to create something to encourage skillful play and give players more incentive to actually master combat techniques, and I think this is a good start on that mission. Now onto the broader combat system overall. I've made some changes to blocking and parrying based on the feedback that I got from the beta test. The timed block, or parry as it's also called, was a bit too challenging for some players, so I made it a little bit easier to execute, but just a little bit. To help, I also added a parry indicator. Currently, it's just a golden halo that appears above the player's head just before a parryable attack is launched by an enemy, but it's just a placeholder for now as I'm exploring other visual cues that might just fit better with the game's aesthetics, but this should make timing your parries a bit easier for now. As for blocking, it still negates partial damage from attacks, and I'm working on implementing a stamina drain to balance things out. I have also added around 12 new audio tracks that I think will add a lot to the immersion, and I've also added a dynamic finisher camera that allows players to perform finishers on the enemies in style, giving the players the opportunity to actually control the camera angle during those as well, so that each execution can feel unique. Some more stuff that I've started to work on and will be covering in the coming episodes are sound effects, NPCs, and in-game tutorials. But that's it for this time. I hope you are as excited as I am about these changes. I'm continuing to refine and expand the game based on your feedback, so keep it coming in the Discord. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, especially if it's with suggestions for the name of the new town. I'll be reading through them all, and I might just pick one for the final game, so I'll see you in the next update. Happy gaming.